are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first.
Now, again, I'm an independent guy. This is the madman. This is the crazy person. This is the person that we can't possibly allow into office. He'll kill us all. He'll destroy everything. But yet, we've got one guy who says, bluff, who cares about this nuclear thing? I think we can take them. And you got another guy, tell me, as a far lefty, guy, and I don't mean lefty from all of the multiple genders, crap on that. I mean old school lefty, who looks at that and says, yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. But when I look at that, the intelligence services are watching that too. Not that he can or will do it. I mean, whatever, that's irrelevant. I don't care what you think of Trump. The intelligence services are watching that. The Biden administration are watching that. Your thoughts, Scott Ritter?
Well, as Chuck Schumer famously or infamously said about Donald Trump, you start messing with the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday to get you. Now, first thing is when you have a Senate Majority Leader saying this as if it's a good thing, that should be disturbing. The intelligence community shouldn't have any ways from Sunday to get the President of the United States. The intelligence community exists to serve the American people, serve the president by looking out for our national security. But the intelligence community has become part of the deep state. And they're the ones entrusted with secrets and the ability to collect intelligence on you and things of that nature. The reality is that what people are accusing Matt Gaetz of doing, the behavior, I can tell you straight up, every elected official in Washington, D.C. they've tried to put in a compromising position. Straight up tell you that. I was invited to a party back in 1999 when I was being considered by the Republican Party to run for office. And I was invited to a party by the interns of a certain senator who will be left unnamed. And then I got a phone call from a military, a friend in the military who works in the White House. He said, "Did you get invited to this party?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Scott, listen to me very carefully. Pack your bags and go home tonight and never come back here." He said, "You don't want to go to that party. This is the worst kind of party. These are the parties where they destroy you. This is the party where they're going to try to own you. You will be thrown more temptations than you can possibly imagine, et cetera." And so I went home. And so I'm not surprised. I'm not saying Matt Gaetz is guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. What I'm saying is the scene that he found, that people allege that he found himself in, is a scene that's created on purpose by the FBI, by the CIA, by foreign intelligence, Mossad, and others, and it's designed to break you, corrupt you, and then own you with that information. And everybody who rises to the top has this file on them without exception. You don't get to that level unless they believe they can control you, unless your name is Donald Trump and they can't control him. And look at who the establishment fears the most, Tulsi Gabbard. Why? Because she ain't been to the party. If she had been to the party, they wouldn't be worrying about Tulsi. RFK Jr., he hasn't been to the party. He creates his own party maybe, but it's a party that is his party, not the party that's designed where they own you. I don't know. I think very highly of RFK Jr. But I will tell you that he's not an owned man. They don't own him. Elon Musk, they don't own him. Not at all. These are the people that have come to prominence outside of the system. And so they have not been corrupted by the system. This deep state, when you talk about, if they ever dug in and found out what's really going on, the hell that would be paid. Imagine that you didn't have an FBI and Department of Justice that was in the business of corrupting Americans and controlling Americans, but rather protecting Americans. What would happen if somebody actually digs in and finds out the truth about what the FBI has been doing for the last 40 years? I mean, you'd be filling up the prisons with tens of thousands of FBI agents because this is all they do.
For the last 8. For the last 8. I said for the last 8. Forget the last 40. The last 4. The last 4 months.
With all due respect to the 40 agents that came to my house, either you were just obeying orders and you really didn't know what you're doing, or you're a criminal. If you signed off on the probable cause statement to that judge, you know you were lying. You know that you were basically trying to silence me, intimidate me, because you didn't want me going to Russia so that I could learn about Russia and come back and argue against the insane policies of the establishment. You see, everything that I represent right now and speaking out against nuclear, it's against the establishment. The establishment is now they are scared, not because of me necessarily, but you have a president coming in that isn't of them and won't be controlled by them, who recognizes how bad they are because he survived the first term. He knows what happened. He said so much to Joe Rogan. He said, I wasn't prepared to govern when I came in. And so I had to turn to the establishment to staff my team. And so the establishment came in and took control of me. He's learned that lesson. He's building a team that can't be controlled. And the establishment is panicking right now. Absolute panic. And we've been saying the same thing over and over again, but there is a coup d'etat that has taken place. Joe Biden is no longer the functioning president of the United States. And it's imperative that somebody does something about this. We have, in the United States, the Republicans have a majority in the House of Representatives. Begin impeachment proceedings. Expose this. Now, it's going to go to a Senate that, who knows what they're going to do at trial, but the Senate will have to take it. And in the trial, maybe you can start exposing things. But what you need to do is put the establishment on the defensive.
Right.
Don't let the establishment be able to proactively come out here and dictate the terms. They're creating a war with Russia to distract you from the fact that they don't want to leave power.